Listen, I hate to admit this, but I'm a hit or miss guy when it comes to the ladies. I wouldn't say I'm one of those red pill couch potatoes that rips on women all the time. All I'm saying is that dating can be tough nowadays.
Hey Tyler, you on your way to algebra?
Yeah, I'll see you there.
Boy, that escalated quickly.
After months of barely getting past a first date, I started to use a couple of techniques that Nightwing uses on the ladies. Cause why not? What did I have to lose? Now, this might sound ridiculous, but these subtle things that Nightwing does has really helped my social life go from non-existent to thriving overnight. In this video, I'm gonna go over the 3 techniques that Nightwing uses that makes the ladies keep wanting more. Use these approaches, fellas, and you'll for sure see improvements in your dating life. But before we move on, please be sure to give a like and subscribe to Reverb Comics. You don't want to miss out on our awesome content. And please consider buying my indie graphic novel that's now available on Amazon. I'd much prefer you supporting my channel by getting a kick-ass story in return. What's great about this indie graphic novel is that it's made by a comic enthusiast for comic enthusiasts, and not for some corporate executives in a boardroom. I'm looking at you, Superman's mustache. So chances are, if you're a fan of comics, you'll really dig it. Now back to the topic at hand. Now on the surface, it's easy to see why Nightwing is so great with the ladies. He's an expert martial artist, he's ripped, he's smart, pretty much every superhero respects him, he's a fantastic leader, and he's got a butt that ladies can stare at for days. On top of that, he's very charismatic, hopeful, and trusts people more easily than his mentor. As opposed to being cold, secretive, and emotionally distant with people like Batman, he's much more open and social. Now, if you're an introvert like me, you might be asking yourself, how do I become more social and extroverted like Nightwing? After all, becoming more social for an introvert is easier said than done, as we put a lot of pressure on ourselves in social situations, and it's hard to get past other people's introverted and defensive nature. If you're interested in starting and maintaining conversations with potential friends and ladies, it's simple. All you have to do is start taking an interest in people like Dick Grayson. In one of the DC animated movies based on the New 52 era of DC Comics, Dick had a really interesting back and forth with Damian. When he was asking Damian where he's going and what he plans on doing for the night, Damian gets really defensive. He basically tells him off and calls him out for asking so many questions. Eventually, Damian asks him why he even wants to know, to which Dick replies, "I'm just taking an interest." Now, this line might not sound like a big deal, but trust me, it's a game changer technique to turn a nobody into a social butterfly. When you at least make it seem like you're taking an interest in a person, trust me, doors will open. If you approach someone, whether it be for a romantic or job opportunity, taking an interest in that person will make that person not feel used. Listen, I'm not trying to turn you into a Machiavellian genius here. All I'm saying is that people don't like it when you try and use them to gain something or to get a particular outcome. People much prefer it when you talk to them just for the sake of trying to get to know them. That's why cheesy pickup lines never work. If women suspect that you're just trying to use them, their defenses are going to go up and they're just going to want to get away from you. Instead, just keep the approaches casual and try to genuinely be interested in another person's hobbies, ambitions, and passions. Trust me, it's as simple as going to a run club, walking up to a stranger, and asking that person why they chose to take up running. Trust me guys, curiosity is king. Simply taking an interest in people will draw people towards you. I bet Batman wished he picked up on this. He would have saved himself a lot of lonely nights in the Batcave. The next thing you should work on to get Nightwing's unshakable confidence is to practice gratitude. Now, if you're someone who went through something traumatic or you're living through some terrible circumstances, I don't want to invalidate what you're going through whatsoever. All I'm saying is this, practicing gratitude will draw people towards you. Why? Because more often than not, people focus on what they don't have as opposed to what they do have. I don't know, it might be an evolutionary thing. I bet a lot of people focused on the bad things to avoid danger and survive throughout history. Who knows? All I'm saying is this, no matter how your life is going, the mind always gravitates towards the negative. At least that's the case for most people. So if you want people to get to know you, don't try and add any negativity to a person's life. At the end of the day, you want to provide value to people's lives. So adding some positivity to a person's life can go a very long way. As we all know, Nightwing fits positivity and gratitude to a T. Instead of reminding himself and others about how he lost his parents tragically, he moved past his trauma. Instead of being butthurt over the fact that he's one of the few members of the Titans without any powers, he leaves his insecurities behind him and lifts his friends up. Which, by the way, is something that Batman can't even do. The guy is so distrustful of people that he set up contingency plans for each member of the Justice League. Now, to be fair, Nightwing did the same thing, but at least he told the Titans about his contingency plans. I'd argue that it's his half-glass full mindset that makes him so successful with women. Take his relationship with Starfire as an example. Maybe I'm making a hasty generalization here, but I think it's safe to say that most men would feel intimidated dating a powerful lady. But not my boy Dick Grayson. Even though Starfire is more powerful than him, he's very secure in himself. He knows that he's unique, useful, and has value to offer to Starfire and the Titans. In the Judas Contract storyline, for instance, Dick Grayson was the only member of the Titans who did not get abducted by Deathstroke. It was really easy for Deathstroke to kidnap everyone else since they were augmented. Compared to Dick Grayson, they didn't really get by off their skills and they had little to no training. Thanks to Batman's training and his athleticism, he was the only Titan to outmaneuver Deathstroke and escape him. If Dick Grayson focused on what he didn't have, I doubt he would have been useful to the Titans and Starfire would have seen him as an insecure guy. So trust me when I say this, guys, drop the defeatist mindset. It might be easier said than done because, life is hard and living's not easy, but I can guarantee you, if you can lead with a positive and optimistic mindset like Nightwing, you'll add value to people's lives and achieve a lot in your life. Now, the last thing that I want to say here is that Nightwing's unshakable confidence comes from simply doing what he loves. Believe it or not, everything did not go Dick Grayson's way in his life. In the most recent Batman and Superman World's Finest storyline, Dick Grayson went on a date with Supergirl and surprisingly, it did not go well. It wasn't a complete disaster, but they didn't really hit it off. Dick Grayson bounced back from that rejection pretty quickly because he just simply does what he loves. For Dick, being a hero is what brings him the most joy. Sure, sometimes being a hero can suck and be downright traumatic at times, but helping people and being around the people that he loves is what makes it all worthwhile. Now, what's important to note here is that doing what you love isn't always easy. I think it's safe to say that Batman planned on having Dick to be his successor, even though he never cared to admit it. When he ditched the Robin mantle to become Nightwing, I'm sure he felt like he was disappointing his father figure a bit, but deep down, Dick always knew that being Batman or Robin just was not him. It didn't feel right for him to be so fear-mongering, secretive, and emotionally distant as Batman. Instead, he did what he loved and led with more kindness, optimism, and trust. And if he did not do what he loved, I doubt he would have reached his highest potential. If he did things Batman's way, I doubt he would have become the leader of the Titans and the Justice League. Now that I think about it, that Tower of Babel disaster pretty much torpedoed Batman's chances to lead the Justice League. But that's besides the point. The point that I'm trying to make here is that you just can't control what people think of you, so you might as well just do the things that brings you the most joy. And if you dedicate your life to doing the things that you love, it'll make you more happy, forgiving, and optimistic like Dick Grayson. And once people see that, they will more than likely want to gravitate towards you. So that's all, folks. If you want unshakable confidence like Dick Grayson, I recommend that you take an interest in people, practice gratitude, and just do the stuff that you love. Of course, there's a lot of other qualities that make Nightwing so confident. Nightwing doesn't let his pride get the best of him, he doesn't feel the need to put other people down, and the guy's got a lot of charisma and charm. Come to think of it, I think I might have a crush on Nightwing. The guy's got a lot going for him. But with all seriousness, doing these really subtle things in your work and relationship life will help you out big time. As an introvert, these social techniques were a huge game changer. So if you're an introvert like myself, use these tips and I'm sure that you'll see improvements. But what do you think? Do you agree with these techniques? What do you think gives Nightwing his unshakable confidence? Let me know what you think in the comments section below. As always, thanks a million for watching. Please be sure to give a like and subscribe to Reverb Comics so that you won't miss out on our awesome content. And please check out my book if you can. Stay groovy.